Hey, what's up, Lawn Care Nuts? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut, and I wonder if you experience days like I'm having today. So we all work regular jobs, right? And so our only time to usually do lawn work is going to be on the weekends. So today is Saturday. I've actually got a good friend of mine who's having a 40th birthday party tonight, so I don't have a full day to work on the lawn like typically I do. So my time is limited, and I wake up here on Saturday and everything is wet. It may not look that way in the video here now, but everything here is just soaking wet. We had rain overnight, which is awesome. We needed it, but it's gonna put a wrench in my plans. I can't do any mowing today. And then on top of that, I have my blog that I do with you guys, and I'm behind on that. I wanted to do some weed spraying videos today. Again, can't do that when it's too wet here. Just a lot of things to catch up on. So I thought, you know what? Let's just change it up. I've got to plant some annuals this year anyway, because to make the house look pretty, because we're trying to sell it. So I'm going to get creative and crafty with you and show you some really cool things you can do with pots and annuals. So this is going to go way off track from lawns, lawn striping, and fertilizing, and we're going to get to play with some flowers. Okay, so before you get started, you obviously have to have a pot. Now, that can cost a lot. I happen to just have a whole bunch laying around, so I'm just using one I already had. But get whatever size you want. It's not really going to matter because I want you to pack stuff in here big time anyway. Next is what you're going to choose. So you need to look at 4 different heights, or at least 3 different heights. So you get something for the middle. And by the way, just get the cheap throwaway plants. You know, these are what I call throwaway plants. They're going to last 1 year, so get whatever's cheapest. So get something for the middle. So I actually got this grass here. This is called curly sedge. It's an annual. For middle, I've got some annuals here. These are going to be planted in other places. So these are also going to be in this pot so we can keep some kind of continuity between the rest of the landscape. I also got these Salvia here. Those work for a nice mid height. And then we need something for a lower height, which is these here, this creeping Jenny. These are actually going to creep and fall over the sides. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put some rocks in the bottom of your pot, whatever you can. That's just because we need to have some drainage. And the other thing is there's no sense in wasting a bunch of expensive potting soil in a huge pot because you're not going to have an extensive root system here anyway. Next, we're going to go ahead and get our potting soil. I just get whatever's on sale. Again, I know there's all kinds of stuff they want to tell you. You know, this thing is going to grow super gigantic flowers and all this stuff. I just get whatever's cheap. Because here in Indiana, the summer is so short anyway, I don't know if there's time to grow this giganticness. But you're going to notice that usually what this is, it's really, potting soil is really just a lot of amendments and some perlite and things like that usually. There's always peat moss in the mix. So you want to keep the soil line below the pot, edge of the pot. You don't fill it all the way up. And the reason you don't fill it all the way up is because once you put plants in here, it's going to bring the volume up. So you got to leave a few inches lower here, and you'll see what I'm saying because we're going to use more potting soil to pack in on top. So again, a good 2 or 3 inches below the top of the pot. Now we have to think about the situation we're going to put this in. A lot of people might think that you want to put this tall one right in the middle of the pot. I'm not going to do that actually because this pot's going to be up against a wall per se. So actually I'm going to put the tallest element in the back of the pot. You're going to see they're root bound usually. You just want to loosen the roots up a little bit. You don't have to do any kind of cutting or anything. Just get your hands in there and get that all loosened up. Let those start to spread. Stimulate them. And now again, because I'm a couple inches under, I don't really have to dig that deep here. Right? I'm going to put this in like this here, and then I can, see that? And then I can just mound this up around the edges of it. Okay, so next we need a medium element, and that's what I got these for right here. These are going to be more of a medium type element. And you can see you just pop these out, and again, they're going to be kind of root bound too. So you just kind of rough them up. And we're going to just make a little spot and set them in there. And you can butt these right up as tight as you can to this tall element. Just butt them right up in there. Now you're just using your eye here, you know, there's no perfect way to do this. No right or wrong way. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one more here in. Right there. Again, annuals are super easy to plant. All right, now let me show you, see. You'll notice that, so this is kind of the front, right? So this is the back. So the back I'm not really worried about because the way this is going to be facing, and you'll see it when we're finished, how I have this pot facing. So this is not a pot that's going to be seen 360 degrees. Okay, now I need another, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of my low elements in now. And I want to fit those in because I want to make sure I have enough space. So that's what I got these for here. Now these are a little bigger, you can see. These have got a lot more area to them here. So it's going to be a little bit harder to fit these in, but all you have to do is literally just take and push everything because nothing's really, you know, rooted yet. See, and put that, just drop it right in there on the side. See how that goes? And there it is. So you don't have to, what I'm saying is you don't have to be gentle here. You can get a little bit manhandling with this stuff. See that? Not enough room, just push it out of the way. And just shove this guy down in there. You know, you're not gonna hurt anything. Just shove him down in there. We're not worried about compacting anything. It's not gonna hurt anything. Okay, it's in there. See that? Now these are out of space, or out of place. So I'm gonna push these back a little bit more. Okay, then I'm gonna put a little filler dirt, you know, just eyeballing. Almost acts as mulch at this point, right? Okay. So now we've got some super low elements in, we've got some medium elements here, right? And then we got our tall element. Now let's go ahead and get some other medium elements in here, and let's go with some white. I think now would look good. So I'm going to go over here for these petunias. Here's a white one here. Now these bad boys will take over, so, and that's okay. But we're just gonna, I think we're only gonna have room for one here maybe, which that's fine. Just want to keep this tied in with the rest of what I'm doing. So got that one there. Now let's go with some more, our last two low elements. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. You got room right there for one of the low elements and one there, and then everything else is kind of falling in place. The last thing you might want to do, and I'd like to do, is just put a few more rocks in the top. They actually add a little bit of an element of appeal. They look a little nice, but to me they just, when you go watering this, they kind of help to break the waterfall a little bit so it doesn't wash the soil around too much. That's really what they're for. Okay, so the last thing I did is I went ahead and I planted a bunch of annuals around the pot. You know, you don't want it to just be standalone. You got to kind of support it, right? And that gives you even more layers of height and layers of color. So I don't do anything special to plant annuals. In fact, I do it the easiest way possible, which means I just dig this long trench. I don't use any special tools or anything. I'm actually using an old tree spike here, just digging a trench, and all that does is it's the same width and depth as the actual flowers when they come out of the 4-packs. So I can just literally line them up, shove soil in between, and then shove the next one in. And I just bunch them up as close as I can get them. So you can see I put it in the trench, throw a bunch of grass or throw a bunch of dirt around it, the potting soil, and shove another one up in there. Fill in a couple gaps in between, and you're done. It's that easy. Again, these are just kind of throwaway plants. And the key with annuals, really every year, guys, is to keep them watered. If you water annuals, they will grow like wildfire. It's just what they do. And so here we are at the finished product. Again, you can see I planted some different annuals all around it. And these will fill in more and more and more the more you water it. So watering is going to be every day here pretty much in the summer, because this area right here does tend to dry out because it does get direct sunlight for most of the day, and it's a little bit elevated, so it's definitely not going to hold a lot of moisture. You could pack some mulch in here. I just don't have any, but you know, that's also a good idea. So there you go. Hope this has been a fun project for you, something you can do this weekend. I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the lawn.